Guys, if you're not using IMAT's automated mine sequence assignment, you're seriously missing out on a huge time saver and efficiency boost. I've been getting lots of questions from my peers about building large scale models, and one question that keeps coming up is, I have lots of shapes, how can I assign the mining sequence to my development and stopes automatically instead of doing it manually one by one? Well, in today's video, I'll show you exactly how to do that in just few clicks. All right, without further ado, let's get rolling. So the first thing we do is create a new IMAT project. Let's call the project name Automatic Mine Sequence Assignment. We also have to select the project location. In this case, I'm gonna put it on my desktop. The mine name is not very important, but let's call it automatic mine, and then okay. So the first thing is really to import and assign dates to the development drives. That's the first steps. We go under development folder under the geometry plugin, and we go and get our development shapes. We can select them all and import them, whether they're STL or DXF, doesn't matter. There's an extra step to do in DXF to convert them to STL to extract the geometry. I've explained that in the previous videos. So the first thing is to show them all to make sure that they have been properly imported. They look good. All right. So the first thing to be able to assign the automatic mine sequence is to select them all and go batch rename and from a CSV file. So let's pause for a second here. So the idea here is to have a CSV that has the first column as the development drives or the stope names, and then the second column would be the time that these drives or these excavations have been mined. And that way we can tell IMAT, hey, get assigned these dates to these shapes, and it will recognize it and it will be able to assign the sequence automatically. So let's go through it step by step. So right now I'm gonna go and get my CSV. So as you can see, there's two columns: the excavation name, which is the file name or the label, and then the second column is the actual date of mining. And for the date, I have to specify the format in my CSV. So in this case, YYY-MM-DD. Y for year, M for month, and day, D for D. So now that it's done, you can see that still the dates are not correct in the property dialog, but the files have been renamed. So the thing here to do is to go toolbox and then assign the dates from the file name, and then we select the date format YYY-MM, and then you'll see that now the dates in the property dialog gets the right dates from the file name. So one way to visualize the sequence of the development drives is to go to timeline. We go and we do monthly increment, and you can see that these drives are properly sequenced. So the second step is to import and assign dates to the stopes. So assuming that we have all the stopes, so you can see that the dates are not correct. So the idea here is to go and select them all, and then same thing as development drives, we go and we make a batch rename from a CSV, and then basically I go and get my CSV for stopes that again has two columns, one for the stope name and then the second for the date. The stope name is a label, obviously not a date, and then the second column is a date, and we specify the format of the CSV YYY-MM-DD, M for month and D for day. When we're good, we say okay. So the program will go ahead and batch rename all these files. So we're gonna have the name dash the date, okay, according to the format we specify, dash the stope name. So again, in the property dialogues, the time is not correct, or the date is not correct. So what we are going to have to do is actually select them all again and assign date or sequence from the file name. Always that step is very important. So let's go ahead, toolbox, assign dates, and then we specify the date format, obviously, that we want. And now the program has successfully executed that, and then we go and actually we look at the dates here. So if we show the development and stopes all together and we go to the timeline, let's see if the sequence has been properly set up. So we do monthly increments, and then we move step by step, and you can see that now without having to go stope by stope and actually put in the date for each stope, we take it directly from a CSV. And this is a game changer, because if you're evaluating different mine sequences, you want to have like an automatic process rather than doing it manually, and be able to increase the chance of getting errors. So step 3, let's now create a flat 3D project that will actually get the mine sequence from the geometry plugin. So we'll call the first project diminishing pillar sequence. The shapes that are applicable are backfill, development, and stopes. We don't need tunnels because it's just all that our developments shapes are under development, so that's okay. So we expand and we go to the mine sequence. Again, here, let's pause for a second. We have to select steps, so we can either do it manually. So we go and copy the shapes from development and stopes, or even caves, into the mine sequence, but it's not really practical. Or we can do it automatically, just like I'm explaining. So we go and actually we create new steps, dates from geometry plugin. So because we've done all the automatic assignment with the CSV files in the geometry plugin, what we need to do is just go get the sequence from the geometry plugin. So so here, starting step number is 1, and then the date format, very important, year and month. And let's go ahead. And what the program is going to do is going to go and get actually all the mine sequence from the file names that we rename. Remember? So when we open the mine sequence, you'll see September, October, November. So a monthly sequence all the way to 2029. So that's exactly what we want. And then all the shapes that have been mined in a particular month will be in there. So you can see here, development 3 items, stopes 5 items. So all these stopes have been mined in the same step or the same month. Development, same thing, stopes as well. So we don't have to copy paste and increase our chances to make an error. All right. So let's actually turn the mine sequence on, and let's actually go and let's actually check out the timeline. So again, update range, select the monthly increments, and let's start from the beginning. So you can see here, as I'm going through the sequence, I see that all my development and all my stopes being gradually mined according to their dates. So the same. So here, obviously, those are monthly increments. So all the stopes that have been mined in the same month will appear in the same increment, or in the same month. So you can see here the sequence is set up automatically. So step number 4, change the mine sequence. Instead of like a diminishing pillar, let's try, for example, flat back. So here I have all the stopes named, the original names of the stopes, and I suggest to have them in a folder well saved. So we go tool, Again, batch rename from CSV, same process. The CSV has two columns, one for the file name or the slope name, and the second column is the date. And then, so that's what I do: file name, date, perfect. The date, I'll have to select the format of the date according to the CSV that I'm getting. And here we go. We complete the batch rename, and same process. We go ahead and actually assign dates to these shapes according to their name. And basically after that, everything, the dates are properly assigned, perfect. And then well, I can actually check that out from the timeline. So let's double check the sequence if it has been properly set up. So you can see development initially, and then stopes. So we go from bottom up sequence. We mine all the stopes in one level, and we go to the next level. Obviously not great from a rock mechanics perspective, because we put a lot of heat on those development drives as we are increasing. But just this is for illustration purposes. So let's create a flat 3D project called flat back sequence. The files that are, or the shapes that are relevant are backfill, development, stopes. Now, tunnels we don't have to, but I included it. Mine sequence. So again, I hide development and stopes. So that I can go and actually import my mine sequence from the geometry plugin. Starting step number one, and the date obviously is YYY-MM-D. Or obviously, if I do D, means that daily. I want a daily sequence. I don't want that. I want a monthly sequence. So all the sequencing gets automatically set up. So September as first month, October, November, December, and so on. And all the shapes are that have the right date gets assigned to the right mining sequence. So I don't have to do any extra work. This is really useful for having like hundreds and thousands of shapes. And you can see here, without going to the timeline, I'm just gonna go ahead and hide and show step by step, and you can see that my mine sequence is properly set up to a flat bat sequence.
That's it for today. Another solid block in your modeling foundation. Stay safe and see you next time.